As far as youth tour factoring into where I'm at in the world today, youth tour happened at a pretty critical moment in my life. I was a junior in high school, and it was one of the first trips I'd ever taken, out of the state, whatever, without my parents. And so it was this awesome moment of getting to be like really fully independent and explore a place with my peers and explore a place based on what I'm interested in. And that sense of adventure was really fostered on youth tour and definitely has not faded since. Getting to go on that trip where I felt so bold as a junior in high school has led to just different levels of boldness in my travels as I've gone along, and now thanks to so many of the roots that were fostered in me in high school, I am working abroad and living abroad and chasing after my dream in that way. And I think youth tour definitely played a role in kind of lighting that spark for me.
Going on that trip to Washington, D.C. really opened my eyes to the Capitol and to politics. Since I entered college, I got really interested in kind of the civil system and politics in general and how all of that works, and I've volunteered on a number of campaigns and worked with other different just political and civic organizations since then, and it just really created a buzz of energy and excitement inside of me, and I can credit all of that to going on the youth tour trip in 2014.
Going through and in my political science classes, sitting in talking about these Supreme Court cases or talking about these laws or these parts of our history, and I know I've been there, I've seen it, and to me that just really brings, it just is adds a step to my learning process because I've seen these things. I think for me, the best part was the Supreme Court building, because everything up until then was, we're gonna check this out in remembrance of something, but in the Supreme Court building, sitting in the courtroom, where some of the biggest landmark cases were decided, this is actually where it happens. And that was something for me that was really exciting, kind of emotional, just because it was so awesome.
We were in the airport in Washington, D.C. about to fly back to St. Louis, and this parade of honor flight veterans came through. And some of them were walking, some of them were in their wheelchairs, but our entire youth tour lined up. And as these men and women walked by, we shook their hands and we said, "Thank you so much for your service." And I guess after that week of experience that we just had, I just have never felt so sincerely the need to say thank you. I've never been able to so fully and richly feel that gratitude for these men and women as I did that day in the airport with my youth tour patrol. And man, that has really stuck with me.
One of the realities of the trip was that I got to become really close friends with a group of people who I never would have met otherwise. In fact, 4 years later after I went on that trip, I've kept in really close contact with those people. We get together all the time and kind of chat and see what each other is up to. And that's just been really, really neat.